everybody, welcome back to another episode Around the Fire. Today we're going to be talking about the Walker Razors and the Walker Razor walkie-talkie headset attachment. So many of you are maybe familiar with these already or have seen them in your sporting goods store and you wondered, hey, what's up with this? They look kind of like the headsets from video games like Swordens and things like that the military uses, Comtacs and things like that. Those are all quite expensive if you're familiar, and hundreds of dollars, sometimes even more. And these tend to retail for about $45 just for the headset. And what exactly is it that they do? So just like your standard shooting earmuffs, they're going to offer you hearing protection in their powered off position. Just as you have them right now, turned off, doing nothing, they will protect your ears when you're out shooting your guns and whatnot. Now, if you turn them on, they offer hearing enhancement as well as decibel reduction for firearms. So it cuts out, like when you clap, sometimes you can get them to shut off. So that's really cool for us guys that enjoy getting out there and shooting with our families and friends and stuff like that, or just even by ourselves, because obviously, you got to keep your ears going. You don't want to, have any hearing loss. That would be unfortunate, sacrifice for having some good old American fun freedom time. But as I said, they're very comfortable. They are of a good quality. They take a couple AA batteries and they do what they're supposed to do. I've never had any problems with mine, and the only time I've ever accidentally killed the batteries was I left them on in my truck for God knows how long, and they just, ran there and sat there for forever. But the hearing enhancement is pretty darn good. These are the Razors. They have ones that have more. They've got so much stuff. The company now, Walker, they've made so many of these things. It's crazy, but the Razors are really good, and I would highly recommend them. And of course, like I said, with the cutoffs and everything that they do the hearing safe decibel reduction. I'm not sure what the number is. I'll put it up on the screen. The walkie-talkie bit, and that's exactly what this is a walkie-talkie. Now, if you're not familiar with radios, walkie-talkies are your sort of like over-the-counter radios that you can buy at any big box store. If you're not going to a radio specialty store, you're more than likely buying a walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkies are FRS frequency. That's the Family Radio Service Frequency, which is according to my notes here, 462 and 467 megahertz of the UHF band. So see, I'm learning things. Now there's so many different types of radio, UHF, EHF, SHF, VHF, and so many different types of radios, ham, CB, walkie-talkies, so where do you start? Well, this is as good a place as any, to be honest with you. Most walkie-talkies, as you're familiar with, are, sort of the big square, like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? Beep, beep, oh, I'm over here, dancing around, in the backyard, drinking a beer. Maybe not. That's kind of weird. But you get the idea. So, same purpose here. You got your power button, the batteries are on the inside of this thing, it clips onto your walkers, it goes into the headphone jack there, you have 22 channels, and of those 22 channels there's 99 sub-channels. Now those sub-channels do not make it private, they just sort of cut out the chatter from the other stuff. Got your little pop-out antenna. I think that's mostly for looks, because I honestly don't think it's going to do a whole lot for you at any point there. It has Vox, which is a voice activated squelch, so you talk and it will start to pick it up. It works. I don't recommend using it though, personally. I turn the Vox off on these, which you can do by just hitting mode, cycling through the mode, get to Vox, and that sounds off. You can go to high, you can go to low, and you can go to off. So high it'd be really sensitive at picking up your mouth. No. So high would be really sensitive at picking up your speech, and low would be less sensitive picking up the speech. In case you were, real heavy mouth breather and your friends yell at you while you're playing Call of Duty doing that. And then obviously off is not going to do that at all. You're going to use the push to talk button located on the back of the headset, which is actually a pretty natural feeling because it's just like, yeah, what's up? Tacos? Sweet. Now I have to say, for a plug and play unit, and these things I think are only around like $20 or $30, they're not too incredibly expensive. For a plug-and-play unit that just runs off of a couple of batteries that you can hook up yourself and not have to have any real prior knowledge of like radios and how they work, I found it to be an easy to use and fun system. Why would you want this? Is it practical for you? I don't know. What's your application? Are you, for me, I was looking for something for sort of our bug out kits that could also function for fun and that could also be useful in, other situations like hunting and things like that as well. So if you don't require something where you can talk to people 100 miles away, then this might be the thing for you, or a place to start perhaps. Like I said, if you're like me and you're a little bit into prepping and like you like tactical gear and stuff like that, this is a neat thing because for us civilians, where some of these things aren't so accessible and a lot of these purchases are really big and expensive for something that, we might use given a bad situation that we're not going to get so much day-to-day use out of on a regular basis. These are a little bit less of a sting. You could get a couple pairs of these. You can, your buddies might have a couple of these headsets already. You could be like, hey guys, let's get all these and get on together, and then while we're out hunting, we can talk to each other. If we're playing paintball, we can talk to each other. Like I said, if you were putting together a little prepper group, like I said, you guys could all have these, and in a situation like that, guarding your property, or if you had acreage, you'd all still be able to communicate within relative close proximity. They say 2 to 3 mile range on these. That would be like on a good flat, open terrain. 2 to 3 miles is I think kind of generous for like a walkie-talkie type situation here. You're more than likely gonna get about a mile, and that's like in the woods and things like that, up and down typical terrain here in Michigan. Walkie-talkie based products are not typically recommended for mountainous areas, so depending upon where you're from, if you do have a lot of high and low elevation, you're gonna have some difficulties with those frequencies in that area. But yeah, 2 really cool little products from Walker. There's a lot of different products like this out on the market, and I can honestly say that you won't feel bad about buying these. The headset and the headband and everything work really well. And just as is, they're very comfortable and I have no complaints. The added microphone and everything, does not add a lot of extra weight. The radio is pretty clear cut and easy to use. You just tell everybody, hey, get on channel 12, let's use sub channel 6 or something like that. And then everybody's all set up and good to go. And you just got to tell your one buddy how to turn the Vox thing off because he keeps not understanding what the hell you're trying to tell them to do. So that's that. And beyond that, if so you choose, you can get the headset mounts that are pretty typical of all different hearing protection and mount them to your helmet. This particular set here I bought off of Amazon. I wouldn't recommend them. I don't even remember what brand they are. They just didn't quite seat comfortably against my head quite tight enough, so I had to bend the ever-loving snot out of them. But you can see, you get the idea there. They have a lot of different mounting solutions for these types of things nowadays, and like I said, there's probably a lot better ones, but you get the idea. You got the whole setup there on the helmet, so we can all LARP as hard as our hearts desire. But yeah, I hope if you were considering making the purchase that helped you out. I mean, I think they're absolutely worth the money. They're great hearing protection. They're very, very comfortable. They have a very quality product there. There's not a whole lot much else to say about them, but we will be diving into, this is sort of like the beginning, we will be diving into radio communication stuff because I just kind of want to nerd out on it a little bit and learn a little bit more. I ultimately would like a setup where I can have myself a headset, some comm sets for gear, as well as something in the truck that will communicate on that frequency with them. And like I said, I'm new to radio, so I don't know a whole lot about this. And then maybe like a little setup at home base. So I'm thinking like ham radio, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go talk to some professionals at a radio shop, and unfortunately that seems to be a thing that doesn't barely exist anymore, but I did find one that's about 40 minutes away. So I will keep you guys updated on that as there is things to reveal. And other than that, I hope you had fun. As always, be safe, get out there, have a good time, take it easy. Till next time.